Good evening, everybody. We are here. I am Monique, only the premium version for today. I told her I was going to wind her up, and I may not.
I'm not surprised.
Basically, what happened was, I think, our guest for today demanded the very best, and so was scheduled for when Monique wasn't around, so I could be here. With me is the actual reason we're here, because I'm not actually even slightly relevant to this stream.
That's not true.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Hi, Erica.
Hello, I'm Erica or EricaExplores here on Twitch. Yep.
It's Erica. I would say
Yeah.
we've never met or encountered each other before, and I would be fully lying.
No, we've actually met in person 3 whole times.
We go way back. It's quite fun, and chaos tends to happen as a result. But let's start at the very beginning. Tell us about you, first of all.
That is such a broad question. I am 36 years old. I've had diabetes for 24 years now. And I live in Germany, but I'm an American. I moved here about 7 years ago. And I travel a lot. I'm a huge nerd, so I play a lot of tabletop role-playing games, and I also LARP. That's the gist, right?
And that covers
Did I miss anything?
It covers most of what I know about you, I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything we've missed.
I like cats.
Oh yeah, the cats.
I have 3 cats. They might make an appearance in the stream. I don't know. We'll see if I can.
Sometimes you have
lure
even
them.
more in the house. So, when were you originally diagnosed with T1D? Tell us what happened. How did that fun experience go for you?
Fun experience.
Well, yes.
So, I was diagnosed on October 9th of 1999. Lovely date. It was like 4 days before my 12th birthday. And my mom had been alerted to my symptoms because I had asked her for 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch instead of just 1. But she saw that I was still losing weight. So she tested my blood sugar with my brother's glucose meter because he had been diagnosed when he was 3, and he's 3 years younger than me. So he was how old at the time?
6,
If
I
I was
think.
12, he was
9.
If I was 12, he was 9. Yeah. So he'd already had diabetes for 6 years. So my mom recognized the symptoms. She checked my blood sugar. I was high 200s, low 300s. I can't remember the exact number, but somewhere around there, which is pretty low for a first diagnosis number. And I knew what it meant, so I was having a whole tantrum about it. I was very unhappy. But my mom called my brother's endocrinologist and was told to take me to the hospital because she could hear me carrying on in the background. And yeah, so that was my mom took me to the ER, and it was my first and only time being in the hospital. I think I stayed 1 or 2 nights tops. And yeah, that's how my diagnosis went.
So you had quite a early diagnosis, I suppose. Well, because you had the in-house experience.
Yeah, because my mom was already familiar with what to look for. She caught it super early. With my brother, they had to go to like multiple different doctors and get multiple different opinions because the doctors didn't catch it right away. And my mom knew something was wrong.
So diagnosed age 12. Did you, because you were in America at the time, weren't you? Because this was ages and ages ago.
Yeah, I was in New York.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up.
So as a UK person, I didn't hear about JDRF until Game to Give, as it was at the time, found me. Did you hear about JDRF?
Found you specifically?
Yes. I had Emily, the
interesting.
actual Emily, just visited my DMs on Twitter. That was my JDRF introduction. So did you hear about JDRF as it was at the time? Like when you were diagnosed, was it?
Yeah, my mom was familiar with with JDRF because it was like one of the few organizations that was specific to type 1 diabetes, and also at the time catered more to parents of children with diabetes. So we were involved with JDRF stuff from when I was quite young.
Your brother would have had that interaction first as well. So also, other than the obvious immediate tantrums, I mean, again, because you have this 6 years of experience, albeit you were still a young child.
I I was a kid, yeah,
But
and
did you?
obviously my brother was younger than
Yeah.
me, but I I knew the gist of, like,
Mm.
what it was, what to do, um, and I feel like my brother had a slight advantage because he doesn't remember being normal, and
Whereas
I
you
did,
just about do,
and
yeah.
so my adjustment was more
Mm.
difficult.
So it wasn't
Um,
quite a smooth sailing.
no, I was really rebellious with the diabetes stuff as a teenager, to put it mildly. I went through a whole phase where I was trying to mind over matter myself out of being diabetic. I was like, if I just don't treat myself as if I have diabetes, it will go away, right?
That's definitely how it works.
No, it's not how it works. I eventually stopped doing that, thankfully. But
Mm.
yeah, I would ignore like my blood sugar. I would not take insulin. It was a rough time.
Yeah. Speaking from two personal experiences, we suggest don't do that.
No, please don't do that. It doesn't help.
No.
It doesn't help anyone. I
Yeah.
feel bad for my mom, honestly. So I went to a small private Catholic school growing up, and I was diagnosed right at the start of 6th grade, which is
Hmm.
middle school in the US, and my school didn't have a nurse.
Ah,
So my mom actually had to come to school every day during my lunch break to give me insulin. And I was lucky that she was able to do this because she herself was also a school teacher.
mm.
So she had the
Had lunch
same like
breaks, yeah.
lunch break hour, yeah, that I had.
Did they how so I'm now curious as to how long did that go on for before they got a nurse? It seems like a weird thing to do for one person from that point.
They never got a nurse, Stark.
That's
It's a
mess.
small school. My
That's
class size was
mess.
16
Oh,
kids.
that is, you're right, that is a small
So,
school.
they never got a nurse, but I eventually learned how to give the
Mm.
injections myself after about a
Yeah.
year or so.
Okay, so it wasn't too long of completely disrupting your mum's day.
No, but
Hmm.
yeah.
What do you find is the biggest challenges or problems or difficulties? What do you ongoingly just find an absolute pain when it comes to T1D?
Isn't the answer always keeping your blood sugar line as straight as possible? Isn't that the daily struggle? No, I like it's always the management for me.
Mm.
Like I don't think anything else has been as difficult as
Mm.
actually like trying to keep my blood sugar in range. Because you want to eat the pizza, you want to eat the pasta, you want to like drink the cocktail, and that always means a bit of a roller coaster
Yeah. How are
until you figure it
you?
out.
How are you manage like, and how have you managed it? Because from if it's from 1999, were you originally like full like syringe injection? Did you start with diabetic pens? And
Yeah,
what's
so I started with multiple daily injections. I was on Lantus, like long acting insulin,
Mm.
and then Novolog, which is what it's called in the US, for my short acting. And then I got an insulin pump at 15. I had a Minimed Paradigm pump. It was purple.
color is
And I
important when
had
you're 15.
it is very important. And I had that up until 6, 7 years ago. Not the exact same pump, but the same
Mm.
model just over the course of those years.
Mm.
And then when I moved to Germany, I switched to a tubeless pump. So now I'm on the Omnipod Dash,
Nice. And you use.
which is right here.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
And I assume you've used a. I cannot remember what they're called. The sensors. Have you been using them for a similar time, or have you been like the freestyle of a Dexcom or earlier versions of those, or have you been using finger prick tests for more of that time and using it to calibrate the
So
pump?
the majority of my diabetes life has been with manual glucose testing
Mm.
because my insurance in the United States denied a continuous glucose monitor for me as not medically necessary. So I was on the Dexcom G5 originally, and I'm on G6.
Yay, we love G6. There's all the
Okay.
things you mentioned at the beginning that you like doing. LARPing, roleplay, travel, all sorts. How do you like? This is much a personal question as a general question. How do you manage?
You wanted some advice?
I mean, I clearly need advice because I don't do anything complicated like that. And I still exist on a knife edge half the time. But yeah, how do you balance everything?
I have a like packing list with a literal math formula on it to figure out how many pods and how many Dexcom sensors to bring with me on a trip,
Hmm.
depending on how many days long it is. because that's the kind of nerd that I am. So I always have at least like 2 spares
Yeah, you need
with
spells.
me at all times. Always put your diabetes stuff in your carry-on luggage. Do not check it because they could lose your luggage. And I just try to keep all of my diabetes stuff on me during like a LARP, for example. If I'm at like a medieval game, I'll buy some sort of medieval looking pouch that can fit like my glucose monitor,
Mm.
my phone, etc. inside of it. And you just have to check. My watch helps a lot because I can get my blood sugar on there. It's made a big difference. But I like in terms of management, it's honestly very similar to how I manage at home. Um, count the carbs, take the insulin, like
Hope it
that
works.
part's not really different. I don't do any specific adjustments for like airplane flights. I know some people do because they have issues with the elevation,
Mm.
but I haven't personally had issues with that. I've had some scary situations with low blood sugars in airports, but that wasn't because of the airplane like
That was
rising.
just
That was
because
just
diabetes reasons.
other things. Yeah.
I feel like that's such a common answer to things like that. Why are you high on sugar? Because diabetes reasons. Why else? I don't know. Because diabetes. Maybe
I
that's
think
just me. I don't know.
my absolute scariest low, like the lowest I've ever
Mm.
been was in an airport when my flight was boarding and I had to like run from one gate to another.
Oh, they
That
get
was
mad if you don't board.
a
Yeah.
fun time. I made it.
Mm.
My blood sugar was super high later because I was like stuffing my face with sugar
Yeah.
as I ran through the airport, but I made it.
Like, wait for me. Don't close the gate. It's slightly busy dying. It's fine. Yeah.
I've never missed a flight.
So yeah, there's all sorts of, shall we say, fun misconceptions about diabetes, and or people who just don't understand it, and all of that nonsense. So what is something that you're doing literally every day or having to deal with constantly related to the diabetes that the other folk in chat who all get lucky and don't have to deal with this nonsense just don't consider or wouldn't have to consider?
It goes back to the idea of like managing your blood sugar. You have to think about it all the time. For example, if I go to a dance class, I have to like put my pump in exercise mode so it gives me less insulin so that I don't go low during class. But then I have to also remember to take the exercise mode off
Off.
when class ends because otherwise I'll end up high. Like just
Mm.
stuff like that people don't consider. I was telling a friend of mine too that I also go low if I'm going up too many flights of stairs that I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
expect to go up. One of my boyfriend's friends lives on the 5th floor, and every time I go to her apartment,
Exercise
I
mode.
have to bring low candy with me because I will go low on the way up to her apartment. Every
Mm.
time. It always happens. It's
Yep.
very annoying.
I've noticed, especially if we're out on like walks or anything, if we go up a hill, my sugar levels go down. If we go down a
Mhm.
hill, they inevitably start climbing. Like the direction I'm walking is
Really?
direct. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just a trend. And not
Oh,
always, but it's like if we're going down a hill, my sugar levels start going back up again. It's just backwards. It's yeah,
I
that's
haven't, noticed that for myself. I just know
mm,
that, like, when I'm doing a lot of walking, I take a lot less insulin. For example, I have a theme park, like, mode for my
mm,
Omnipod. That's for a full 24 hours if I'm going to Disney World, and I know that I'm gonna be walking constantly,
mm.
it basically turns my basal rate off.
It's like we
Like,
don't need any of
I take
this.
hardly any insulin on those
Mm.
days because I'm
You
so
just don't need it.
active.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, because if I took it, I'd go low,
yeah.
and sometimes I still go low.
So yeah, there was something which came up. I want to say 3 months ago in one of these sessions, and it was talking about the number of additional decisions that you have to make or think about every single day. And as Josh has put in the chat, it's estimated 180 additional decisions. Is that? And I remember at the time there was a long conversation about what constitutes a decision. But like, does that sound right to you? Do you think you're making more, less, up, down?
For for me, it's not even just decision, it's how many times a day do I think about it.
Hmm.
I think I actually think about it about that much, if not more. Depends on the day.
Yeah, I think I agree. To be honest, it's constant, and it's like
It's constant, there's no break, no vacation, like You just
Yeah.
got to deal.
When you are deciding to visit friends upstairs or going for a walk all day, when you are having or going through
Or
the airport,
flying to the UK.
yeah, or anything that might send your sugars low. What's your, or for that matter, high when you don't want to be taking too much additional sugar? What are your snacks of choice, especially for the low recovery and stuff?
Okay, so for low blood sugar, when I'm at home, I have a orange juice that has passion fruit and honey in it that I drink.
Ooh.
If I'm not at home, my go-to is a specific German brand of gummy snacks. It's called Katya's. And I also just carry glucose tablets. In
Mm.
Germany, there's a brand called Dextro Energy that I buy and carry around in my bag. In the US, I just bought like the regular glucose tablets from the like medical aisle, the little diabetes section, in the pharmacy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Here's the corner for the pancreatically challenged people. Have your sugar.
It always has like glucose tablets and like the glucose meters like right
Mm.
next to each other.
And there's no price difference. Um, sorry, I'm not supposed to be saying that. Are there
Depends
any?
where you are.
It's true. Are there any, like, when you're much higher on sugar levels and you just want something to eat, but you don't want to have to deal with? Do you have a low sugar snack that you have, or like some fruit? Because some fruit just has fructose, which has much slower effect, or something. What do you do for that, or do you just
So
screw it
you're
and
asking
eating anyway?
if I have high blood sugar but I'm hungry?
Yeah.
Chicken cold cuts, pepperoni, like just sliced pepperoni, or mozzarella cheese. Like I buy it in a ball and I just
Mm.
cut it up and eat it with olive oil and salt and pepper. All of those are either protein or fat or both. In the case of protein,
Mm.
pepperoni, so they don't affect my blood sugar as much.
Not too much anyway.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
or cucumber salad also works
Mm.
with olive oil and vinegar.
Yeah. I suspect I know the answer to this question because I suspect it's the same as my answer. But what is the one thing that always makes your blood sugar go high? Doesn't matter what you do, it's going skyrocketing anyway.
Cocktails.
Not the same answer I was going to give. I was wrong.
You thought I was gonna say pizza?
I was expecting pizza. Yeah.
I have figured out pizza. Pizza and I are good to go.
It's one of
This
us.
is why I told you need an insulin pump because the square wave bolus is your friend.
Any particular cocktails?
Square
I'm
wave
now
bolus.
curious. Is it just cocktails inevitably, or is it because alcohol has weird effects on stuff?
Cocktails specifically because they have like fruit juices and usually simple or sugar syrups in them,
Mm.
plus the hard alcohol, and it's extremely difficult for me to judge how much sugar is in something.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the sort of thing you just go, could I have an exact ingredients list, please?
Yeah, they're not going to give that
Alcohol,
to you.
sugar. They, yeah, indeed. So yeah, here's a question. So as a type 1 diabetic in the year 2024, what gives you hope? Nice and simple question.
What gives me hope? Honestly, the community, like the diabetes community gives me hope because I see people overcoming like amazing things. I just like I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope or faith in like medical technology or doctors or any health insurance. Like personally, I've had bad experiences, but the diabetes community has always been there for me. When I was unemployed and had no health insurance, the diabetes community got me insulin. And I've done the same for others when the roles have been reversed. So it's for me, it's always been the community that gives me hope.
Switching tack slightly, because you've got to keep things completely random. What games do you play? What do you play lots of? We mentioned Stellaris, which we both play lots of.
Stellaris, yes. Civilization 6. Right now, I've been playing the hell out of Baldur's Gate. I played that last night.
Yeah,
I've also played a lot of Sims 3 specifically because it's the best one.
I
I will
agree.
fight you on this.
No, I agree with you. It's the
Not
best one.
you,
Oh.
chat, or whatever, whoever's watching this.
Mm.
Yeah, those are the games I play most. I have a bunch of other stuff in my Steam library, but those are like the ones I go to the most. Oh, Don't Starve Together as well. I enjoy
Oh
that
yeah,
game.
you do enjoy Don't Starve Together. Every time we end up playing Don't
Ooh.
Starve together in there, I just end up, I'm just going to go and do this because it looks fun. It's like, I've got no
I
idea.
very I very often stream Don't Starve Together to raise money for Breakthrough
Hmm.
T1D.
What else do you do other than gaming? I think you mentioned LARPing
I
earlier,
mean,
and there was some other stuff.
I play a lot of tabletop role-playing games. Right now I'm in I don't even know how many campaigns, I would have to count them. Um, but I played, like, Vampire 5th Edition on Sunday. I played D&D with you.
Yeah.
I have my partner's D&D game. I'm also in a Curse of Straw D&D game. I run Numenera as well for my own friends, and I've played a bunch of other systems in the past, but those are, like, everything that's ongoing right now. And yes,
Erica
I also
lives
LARP.
dice.
I just like role playing is one of those hobbies that has been with me since when did I start? 2006 I started LARPing and I've
Long time ago.
been role playing since.
Hmm.
Like it's cuz it's fun.
So when I originally was like, so I'm doing a whole D&D campaign thing, you want to come? Eric was like, hold on, let me work out wherever I have 5 seconds anywhere in this list of campaigns so I can make space. It's like, wait, hold
There
on.
there was a
Like,
time when I was in I think 8 different campaigns.
eight is the most Mm.
This was during COVID lockdowns. I was doing nothing else because I, couldn't leave my house and my work was only 8 hours a week.
Yeah.
So
8 is
I
the
was
record
filling
I'm
all of my other time with role-playing games. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got 10 minutes I could do just here. So I could be here for 10 minutes.
No, I made room for your game.
It's
I had to
true.
join late because
It's
of
true.
travels,
You did
but
have to
I
join
made
late,
room
but
for it.
you joined. It's good fun. It's chaos. If there was one thing you could say to your younger self having just been diagnosed, what would you say?
It sucks right now, but it gets better. You get the hang of it. The world becomes a bit more accepting. People are less weird about it. So, it'll be fine. That's what I would say to my 12-year-old self who is having a tantrum.
And will probably continue to be a rebellious tantruming person, even so. But you get there in the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mecridor is saying people are having been weird about diabetes. May I ask for an example?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when I first got diagnosed, somebody in my class told me wouldn't sit next to me at lunchtime because they thought it was contagious. Example one. In high school, somebody took food off my tray in the cafeteria because they told me I couldn't eat it. And as an adult, I've had people tell me to just eat more cinnamon or go on some special diet to cure diabetes. So
More
just
cinnamon.
just I have a plethora of I probably spend an hour just giving you examples of people being
It's true.
weird and or stupid about
It's true.
diabetes.
I think I've only got one example of someone basically saying, "Oh no, you can't eat that. You're diabetic."
Did they
Um,
literally take the food off your tray? Because this girl
um,
had the audacity.
no, it wasn't quite that. They were basically it was some sort of event or something. They basically had a tray of cake there going around saying, "Have a piece, have a piece, have a piece." Put it down to offer me some. Oh no, you can't have that, and picks it up again. So it's not quite that bad.
Rude.
She is a professional diabetes specialist nurse.
Still rude.
It's like it wasn't as bad as your then. Oh wait, hold
You
on.
are the one who gets to
Oh
choose
yeah,
what your insulin is used
for
for.
sure. It's like no, if I want to have cake and inject piles of whatever, then yeah, it's like
Let him eat
yeah,
cake.
exactly. I like cake. Yeah. So for those who are not one of us, how can they? Now, obviously, the best answer is when we're doing fundraisers, give us your money. But how other than that, how can people like? What are the best ways you think people can support us, help?
I would say that it really varies on the person. So if you have like a friend who's diabetic, just ask them, "What can I do to help you?" It can be they remind you to take insulin at meal times. It could be they remind you to check your blood sugar. Like
You guys do this at D&D,
it,
beginning of
it,
D&D.
it,
It's like start.
it
Have you
depends on the
taken your
person,
meds?
though.
It does.
Yeah, because some people will find that very annoying,
Mhm.
which is why you should ask first
Yep.
before you do it. Um, but in general, like giving us grace when our blood sugar is off, if it's too
Mm.
high or too low, like promise not me being mean on purpose when I have high blood sugar. It's a symptom.
Mm.
These kinds of things are helpful.
Actual things. It's like high blood sugar and low blood sugar affects brain function and
Yep.
emotional temperament and all sorts. The first story I ever heard of something like that was back when I was reading one of the diabetes magazines that we got at the time. And it was I forget exactly who it was. It was some athlete in an airport was arrested for drunken behavior.
Oh, but he
Because
had low blood sugar.
he'd gone low blood sugar, and it's like, yeah, it's like, and fairness to him, sort of, maybe he was failing to communicate that effectively, but also like
It's
he
not his
was
fault.
exactly so maybe diabetic related, maybe not. But what are you looking forward to? What's exciting coming up, or things that you look to optimistically? I'm
Is
sure I
that your
muted.
blood sugar
That's my
alarming at
blood
you?
sugar, which I muted, by the way. So
Why did you mute it? What are you at right now?
11. It's only just started alerting. I can deal with it
So you're
afterwards.
high.
Starting to go high, yeah. I can deal with it afterwards. I've already got insulin going, so.
I'm 172. But
So
yeah,
the
so the
question before my
question was,
phone so rudely interrupted.
I don't know
Both.
that I'm looking forward to anything diabetes related at the moment. I'm pretty solid with like my routine and my care. Um, but I'm looking forward to meeting my niece. My brother just had another baby. She was born last week, and I'm gonna go see
Congratulations.
and meet her in September. So I'm looking forward to that. Tara is asking if the health insurance of different countries, right? Because Erica has experience with both. Yes, I have experience with healthcare in the US and in Germany,
I have experience with the
and
NHS.
he's in the UK.
And
Yeah.
so
So we can
it's.
cover at least 3 countries
Mm,
in that discussion.
for sure.
Maybe we could do like a whole panel, get a bunch of diabetics in different
Oh,
countries,
that
and we
could be
talk
fun.
about. I'm like getting ideas.
That could be quite fun, yeah. We can make that happen. Final thoughts? I think we're
Thanks
good.
for having me.
Thank you for coming.
This was fun.
Indeed. These are always fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I hope you have all found this fun and or interesting and or exciting, preferably all of the above.
All of the above or else.